It is freezing in here. I don't know who like determines the temperature, but 66 degrees in an office is just too cold.
So it's weird because like if you go to
Hi everybody.
That's like the warm corner.
So today we're going to be going over how to download all of your Playster information. So that way on October 1st, you have all that information and it's ready for you just to move over to your new site. So it's a very simple process. I have not done it on mine, so I wanted to take you step by step through it. If you guys have questions or anything, please let me know. Don't hesitate to step in if I'm going too fast or there are questions in regards to what I'm doing. So the first thing you're going to do is go to my KW. See, I don't remember what the actual, oh, it is. Oh, no, it's not.
It's mykw.kw.com.
So you're going to go to mykw.kw.com. This is where we're going to get into our Playster websites. Yep. So once you log into your MyKW, you get to the main page here. You're going to go up to technology. Hello. And here you're going to go to KW websites. That should open up, yep, this right here. I'll just talk a little bit about all your stuff if you haven't been here before. Watch mine not have it. Okay. You are going to go to, it should have a button that says go to my websites.
Mine has it, but I haven't done it. Do you want to use mine?
Sure. Would you like to log in? Yeah. Mine doesn't because I'm a new agent. So if you're a new agent as of this year, Playster knew that we were going to be changing off of Playster. So if you are a new agent or are an agent that has just changed over into it, you probably don't have a, oops, sorry.
It's okay.
You probably don't have this button that says go to my website. So we're going to log into somebody that does have it. That way you can see it from start to finish. If you don't have a Playster website, then this does not pertain to you. You don't have to worry about it at all. This is only if you have done stuff on your Playster website. So.
There you go. You can do whatever you need to because it needs to be done anyway.
Okay. Well, I can't because it'll save it to this computer. So you'll have to go through it again. Okay. So we're going to go up to technology. And whoops. You're going to go to technology in the drop down. You're going to go to the KW websites. Oh, yep. See that button will pop up. If you don't have that button, don't worry about this step. You don't need to. The new websites will be out the 1st, and these websites will be gone as of the 1st. So you'll want to download all this information before the 1st of October. So you're going to click go to my website. It'll take you to your Playster profile, and it'll ask you about this. If you don't want to continue paying for one, you just click out, and that'll keep popping up until we're done. So it should have all of your information there and the different things. You're going to go up to you're going to go to edit sites, I believe it is. Maybe it's view live site. Like I said, this is the first time I'm doing this, guys, so bear with me here. on how to do this. Scott Leroy also has, if you want a step-by-step how to do it without seeing it, Scott Leroy has a great video on it. Upgrade to Agent Core. Oh, no. Saying that there's supposed to be an apps. Oh, maybe it's up here. There it is. Okay. So up here in this, next to where Playster has their name with the 9 buttons here, you can go down to Sites. From clicking on that button, it will bring you up to whatever sites you have. And all you're going to do is download that information. So we'll do it twice here because you have 2 different ones. Press download. It will start popping up in the corner here. You're going to open it back up and you're going to pick where to put it. That's it. So it's a very easy, simple thing if you want to keep all your information from your website. So we're going to do that again. We're going to go from MyKW, from the main MyKW site here. You're going to go up to technology, not click it, just do the drop down. So technology to KW websites. You're going to go to my website. It's going to be your Playster stuff, so it has all of your information. From here, you're going to go up to the top corner where it has the little apps, click the drop down, go to sites, and from here, all you'll want to do is download. Click the download button. And you're going to, down in the bottom corner, you're just going to click on it and it'll tell you where to, or then you can choose where to put your information. So does anybody have any questions on that? It's fairly simple.
Now, when you say that it's downloading, what is it downloading? Like people that have like accident it, and or
yeah,
is it
I think it's all of your
content?
information and your content and your so like your name, your phone number, all the stuff that you've set up within your site. So if you click on it, it's probably all of your old information, all of your old listings. So here you've had 5 posts. If you did any kind of blog work on it, you have 8 different pages. There are so many listings that we're seeing. It's stuff like that, CRM. People that have gone to your CRM, it's that kind of stuff that you don't want to lose. So those people that did a lot of blogs a couple years ago would have all done it on their site, stuff like that.
So have they said what is the new platform for the new websites?
They have not yet. However, there are going to be 3 separate sites that they've been talking about. The first one is your client specific site. Those are your neighborhood nurtures. So actually, good lead-in question. Hold on, I'll log into command because you can see them now. And I'll show them to you. You just can't do anything with them yet until October 1st comes around. So there are going to be the three different websites. There's going to be the individual client website. There are going to be landing pages that you can create. So if you do any kind of ads or advertisements, you can create a specific landing page for a specific neighborhood or the York area or something like that that's just specific to who you're targeting. And then you're going to have your overall site. And that site's going to be hooked up to your app. So we're going to go over on the left-hand side, press the KW so you can see what it says. And we're going to go down to,
I see landing pages.
yep, maybe that's it. Nope. So these are, yep, so landing pages, agent site page, and neighborhood page. So these are all the people that I have on the neighborhoods. I can click on to here and automatically see what they see when they open up their neighborhood. Or if they have liked any houses or if they have added another neighborhood, this is where you can see that. So this is why it's so important to get all of your people with addresses, so that way they can have their own individual search site. You are the only one then that will be able to see what they're searching for. There is another.
Now, what is the create new site at the top right corner? Is that do you
That's
know?
a good question.
Interesting.
So a standalone page. We will try this. So this is new. This was not here. So I guess this would be a, and then you can just create it from scratch, I would think. Yep. So let's move that. Lead form, stick in a lead form. Put in a listing in between those two. There it is. Add the property, features, and then down below would be the lead form. So, or if you'd want to do a market snapshot.
And then, like, once you create that, what do you do with it?
So right
Like
now you can't
Facebook and
publish,
stuff, or?
publish it. Yeah. So if,
Okay.
if you're creating any Facebook ads or you're doing anything like that, any marketing, and you want to push everybody to a specific page, this is what you would do. You'd create this landing page. And then you can take that specific site, so right here, the URL, so once you publish it, you just copy and paste that URL, and then you can see, you'll show how many leads that you get. And all of those leads will funnel straight into your contacts, into your contact information.
So do you think when this is all working, like right now, when I post an ad on Facebook directly with Facebook, I push people to my website, the one that you just edited.
Yes.
Do you think that will still continue, where I can say, like, go here's the website you can check out,
and
X, Y,
that's
and Z?
yes.
Okay.
You can either do a specific landing page for like York County, or you can do your agent site page. So we'll try. Yeah, I think it'll just have more than one property or more than a neighborhood snapshot though. So, yep.
Interesting.
Pull over teams. So it's something, again, this has not been rolled out yet. This is new. So I'm just telling you to go in and download your information off Playster or whatever other website that you want to pull into here. Now, eventually, I know that information you can just drag and drop in, like you can with designs and stuff like that. Are there any other questions about all this? We'll be going over this a lot more. I'm going to end up changing these a little bit and making them more like mastermind sessions, so we can all go through the same stuff at the same time so everybody can see them, and connecting computers, that way everybody can see what each person is going through. And that they're not quite as, everybody isn't on the same page, and there's no judgment on where you are with all of it, but there'll be a lot of different things you can do with it. So October 1st is going to be a huge rollout of information, so just be aware that next week might be a little bit slow on command, just because of all of these rollouts. So if there aren't any more questions about this, do you have any questions about that? It's fairly simple. And again, once we know where that information that you're downloading is going to go, I'll show you guys again. And again, don't panic if you don't have that button. It just means that you don't need to worry about this whole step. So going back, so that was the first thing I was wanting to talk about today. The second thing is templates within DocuSign. We had spoken a little bit about it last week. And we couldn't figure out where to find the templates. Since then, I've played around with it a lot. And I'll go into this one because I know she has forms in there. So when you go into documents, so this is a good one that you can see over here. She has approved for compliance. So as of right now, you should be doing all of your compliance within Command to make it easier. So once you put them in here and you submit to the MC, you'll see on the left-hand side here, it says approve, approve, approved, approved, not uploaded, or rejected. And off on the side here, you'll see that she changed it. This one's open, but this one isn't open yet. So she's waiting for all the documents in this one. This one, she's okayed some of them. And as soon as she approves all the documents in here, you'll see it say approved here. So as of right now, you should be doing all of your compliance within Command. Even though we still have .loop, it's not going to be there always. So we're wanting to get over to Command and just start doing this for all of them. So that's that. So when you go to transaction, open up DocuSign. Oops. I know what passwords. There you go. Okay. So it opens up DocuSign here. Now, the last time we had gone in and I had created a template within my DocuSign side of DocuSign. I was not in Rooms. So to do that, you want to go into DocuSign and under templates, the website. So we can do that again, just a quick. So this is for if you have any of your own templates, if you're on a team and you have any team specific paperwork, or stuff that you wouldn't find in the normal PAR sites. So you're going to go to templates up here. As you can see, I've already created 2 of them. You're just going to create new, drag it in there, and when you click on it, this is when you can asking questions. No. This is when you can click on the page that you want to edit, and you can drag and drop initials in, or drag and drop a text box in that you'll want to fill out later. So we did all that on Thursday. So again, if go back. I don't understand why it's. So if you click edit, from here, you'll say, yep, this is the document that I want to edit. These are the different roles. So it's going to be Agent 1. That's somebody else. Let's see. Agent 1, if there's another one, add another recipient. Well, we'll put buyer. Buyer 1, buyer 2. And then when you go in, you can, and then if you want to make it a specific email message, you can do that as well through here. You can then press next, very similar to how you're editing your docs in your Rooms. So then from here is where you'd want to pull in signature boxes or something like that. So like initials, you always want to make sure you have the right buyer, if it's buyer 1 or buyer 2, or agent, buyer agent, seller agent, stuff like that. So that's when then you pull in the initials, signatures, initials, and you can make them smaller, just like you could in .loop. So it's the same thing. If you have 2 of them, you want to go up and select the second one, initial, and drop it right next to it. So that way you have 2 initials, and that way they're there for when you're ready for it. So when you're ready to be done and you've filled in all the boxes that you want to, you can press save. So then it'll show up here. So that's where we got stuck last week, and that we couldn't figure out how to find these when you were in your DocuSign room side of DocuSign. So I'm gonna jump back to my room, and as you can see, when you add something, there's no template here. If I go to DocuSign Forms, you still won't find your template section. There's no templates. So it's just the PAR forms, the MAR forms, KW 810 forms. So what we realized is because they're already edited, you already have all your text box filled out for it. What you're gonna do is you're gonna create a new envelope. And from here, we have this handy dandy button that says use a template. So if we pull a template, we're gonna pull the template, add selected. So it's gonna add that template that I just edited right in here, and then you can press next and edit it from there and just make sure everything's okay. So you don't have as much to do when you click next. Did I just pull it over? Oh, there it goes. Okay. So you're going to add the template just like you would say if it was in your loop and you'd pulled it from the PAR forms. So then when you go to click next, which nope. Okay. So as you see here, work through each. So I'm just going to plug my name in here. And we're going to click next. KEKLENK01. Okay, so as you see, I had to plug an email in and I needed to specify what they were to do with this. So if it was need to view only, if you were sending to your settlement company or your lender, it would be a need to view only. Or receives a copy, needs to sign, specific recipient, stuff like that. So you'll just need to do that. The more button just lets you add private messages. Now when you add a private message, it's kind of cool. It pops up, if you're sending it to another agent, pops up in the right-hand side of the room. So when you click and open a room up, it'll pop up there. It's very, very accessible, and you can definitely see it. You won't be able to miss it. So then you're going to press next. So we've added a template. We've decided who it's going to be sent to. And this is when you would otherwise go in and edit your template and drop in those signature boxes and so on and so forth. And this was not the one that we edited. Nope, I didn't edit this one at all. So this is when the template is there. It should already be filled out. You shouldn't have to change anything with it. Or if you need to edit something, you can, because it should have a text box.
Are you saying edit meaning that they've already signed it, or you're ready for them to sign it?
So this is before you send it to them to get signed.
Okay, so you made your agreement of sale template in DocuSign. You put in all the boxes, and you labeled the buyer as buyer 1, buyer 2.
Yes.
Your template. Then you put it in here.
When you move it over, it changes it from buyer 1 into whatever buyer 1 is designated as within your details.
So you don't have to manually then go in and then change buyer 1 to be Joe Smith. Okay.
Yes. You will also, if you if I go back here and show you, this is where you designate who buyer 1 is. So is buyer 1 a pre-tagged role? Is it a room participant or an email address? So if I clicked email address, put somebody in here, and it would need to sign as buyer 1, needs to sign as buyer 2. So this is where you would specify who it is. Because if I add another one, it would need to sign, and then you would go in and it would show you who was what color.
Is need to sign also needs to fill in, like the seller's disclosure, for example?
If there is something, so
like you could fill it out?
Say I did have, it's a good question. If you have 2 buyers and one buyer needs to fill out a specific section, if you go up here and pull the drop down to a different color, so whatever buyer needs to fill that in, just make sure you're on that color, and then you can plug in a text box, and you can drag a text box in here and say, okay, I don't know, or over here and say, I don't know what the zip code is. Can you please fill that in? And then buyer 1 would have to fill that text box in, but that would not be available for buyer 2 to fill in.
And there's no way to make it available for both people.
You can.
You can.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
So if you click on the text box off on the side here, you can put it required fields, read only, and you can control click.
Oh, you can do both.
I was able to.
No, that's getting something.
I don't know. That's a
Okay,
good question.
that's fine. And then required field, obviously I know what that is, but read only,
Yep.
I know what that is, but if you are in read only,
Yes.
can you make changes? Or
You
are you
can.
just reading?
You can.
If you did
It
not,
will be, so I can have to change, or if I plug in,
okay, and you're in.
17408 is the zip code, and then they only get to read it. So this is for if you're pre-filling in, if you have text blocks in all these sections and you didn't fill them out in your loop, but you have a template of your standard agreement of sale, so you automatically went in and clicked the little boxes or put in the standard stuff. You would also want to put in text boxes in all of these. When you're in this section, that's when you fill out all your text blocks and mark them as read only.
So if you didn't have any box checked, required or read, could they make changes to it?
No,
So in order to make changes to it,
it has to be required. Yep. Yeah. Anybody have any other questions on that?
And I just haven't played around
that's
in the dot loop or in the command side.
Yes.
Is all the par forms,
So hold on.
are you able to fill in?
So yes, so if you go in, there's a massive glare on it. Sorry guys. If I go,
Do you want me to cut the lights to dimmer?
No, that's
You
okay.
can dim it.
I
think it's right on the side of the.
Yeah.
if you're in documents, so you add a DocuSign form, thank you. And it pulls up, you pull them up from the PAR forms. So I'm just gonna pull one in for you so we can see it. So you're gonna go to selected library, PAR forms, or MAR forms if you're in,
Oh, the seller's disclosure, because that's mostly.
Okay.
Please.
seller's disclosure. So you're gonna add it in. So this is a good one to show you that you won't be able to edit anything, I believe, in here. So if you click on it, make it bigger, you'll just be able to, well, that's not what I wanted. There we go. So I just downloaded it, and do you see how all these other forms have a small view of it on there? It takes a little while sometimes for these to pop up if you click on it and want to see it right away. So as you see here, I've already filled in some of the detailed information, so it auto-populates in. However, you cannot add initial blocks or text blocks in the document section of DocuSign. You have to do that in the envelope section. And you can create an envelope and save it. You don't have to send it right away.
But if you made a template,
If you made a template of the seller's disclosure, yeah,
you could make that be whatever you wanted it to be
yes,
and pull it in from the templates versus pulling it in
from the document
yes.
section. However, with the seller's disclosure, it would be a little bit more difficult.
It's not.
No.
It's not as hard as you think. It's just time consuming.
Yeah.
I just did it on
Okay.
Friday. And that's why I didn't get much further, so I was curious.
If you have one that hasn't been, if you're on the buyer's side of the seller's disclosure, I would recommend downloading that on your computer, uploading it into the template side of DocuSign, dropping in your text boxes, your initial and signature boxes, and then coming in to the envelope section and sending it via that way. Or you could, I guess you could do that this way too and just drop, it's whether you want to drop your signatures in a template or in an envelope.
But if you do it in a template, then you don't have to do it every single time.
Every single time, correct. That's if you're on the listing side,
right?
And they have to fill it out. Yeah, so you can definitely do that. Go into templates. Actually, you can show it. So anybody have any other questions in regards to that? I know that was kind of confusing at the end, and we will definitely be doing more of the document portion of DocuSign. So that way everybody can.
One more thing.
Go ahead.
How do you share the document inside DocuSign with someone?
So
A template.
A template?
Yeah, didn't you say you could create templates and then you could share it with somebody?
So when you go to an envelope and you create a new envelope and use a template.
Not for a client, just for like Rhonda or Holly. If I wanted to share,
you would still
envelope
it would still be an envelope and then
Okay.
plug their email in under the address.
and then it would show up in there
It would show up in their inbox
in DocuSign.
in DocuSign up here, the inbox. And then they could drag it and drop it wherever they wanted. So that's a way to do it too if you were on a team and wanted to send it, somebody was asking for a specific form, you could just send it to their inbox. And that way it stays in their inbox and they can just copy and paste it wherever they wanted.
Cool.
That help? Again, we went over a lot. Major important thing though, guys, is the IDX, or not IDX, I'm sorry, is your Playster email your Playster website to download that information. If you have it, just download it. That way you have it and it doesn't disappear on the first. It's very simple. So if you have questions, I'm around. So we will see you guys. I will not be here Thursday. I'm going to try to find somebody to step in for my place and we'll go over some basic stuff on Thursday. But if you have questions, please bring them. But we'll be back to normal next week. So I'll talk to you later. If you have any questions, text, email, call,
Thank you.
any of it.